Most people think that billionaires, people like Elon Musk or Jeff Bezos, must pay a lot in taxes. They're billionaires, right? They have more money than they could ever spend. I mean, look, if you paid thousands back in taxes and you're making like 50K a year, then they must owe back billions and billions, right? Well, nope. Some years they actually pay nothing. That's right, $0, okay? And it's not because they're breaking any rules, it's because they know how to use the rules better than anyone else. So, let me explain how they do it like you're 5 years old. First, they don't get rich like you think. Most people get rich by working. They have a job, get paid a salary, and then after that, the government takes a low bite. That's called income tax. But billionaires don't live off salaries. Instead, they own stocks. A stock is just like a tiny piece of a company. So let's say you own a tiny bit of Amazon or Tesla. If that company becomes more valuable, your stock goes up in value too. So billionaires get richer when the value of their stock goes up, so they can make billions without ever actually getting a paycheck. But here's the sneaky part. If they don't sell these stocks, the government doesn't count it as income, so they pay no taxes on it. Even if their wealth goes up by tens of billions of dollars because the stock is rising, as long as they don't sell, the IRS just shrugs it off. So, how do they buy stuff? Because, if they're not selling stocks, how are they buying houses, these jets, these islands? That's where the magic trick comes in. They borrow money. Let's say Elon Musk owns $100 billion in Tesla stock, right? He goes to the bank and says, hey, I'd like to borrow $500 million. The bank looks at his stocks in Tesla and says, well, of course, you're rich. He gets a loan, then buys whatever he wants, and then he pays it back slowly, if ever at all, really. And since it's a loan, he doesn't pay any taxes on it because loans don't count as income. It's technically just debt, right? The kind that you and I stress over. But to them, it's just, another way to avoid taxes. And here comes the crazy part, right? What happens when they die, right? Let's say a billionaire bought a bunch of stock for $1 each. Now, when they die, these stocks are worth $1,000 each. Normally, if you sold that stock, you'd pay taxes on the $999 profit that you made. But when they die, there's a rule called the step-up-in basis. That means the government just pretends those stocks that they bought were bought at $1,000 instead of $1. So the whole extra $999 of profit just vanishes. No taxes owed, at least not by the billionaire, not by their kids, not by anyone. And if you're thinking, wait, isn't that kind of unfair? Well, maybe, I guess. But that's not an accident. This is how the system was designed. It's not about cheating, it's just about knowing how to play the game. At the end of the day, the people with the most money often pay the least taxes percentage-wise because they don't get paid in the same way you and I do. And that, my fellow 5-year-olds, is how it works. It's not because they're lucky, it's not because they're cheating, it's because they're rich enough to never need a paycheck again.